Old soldiers like me are always saying that America is the greatest nation in the world. Well, my friends, I'll go one better than that. America is the greatest nation that ever existed under the sun. We went to Europe. As I was saying, we went to Europe in 1918 in the same spirit that our boys have gone there now, carrying the notion that the values we hold dear were worth our lives and our sacred honor.
Ich schließe mit dem Bekenntnis, das der Führer einst aussprach, als den Kampf um die Macht im Reich begann. Damals sagte wenn unser Wille so stark ist.
In the trenches of the Argonne Forest, one of the finest boys who ever lived died in his sergeant's arms. Sarge, he said to me, tell him Angie Medalia died for the Bill of Rights.
Dass keine Not ihn mehr zu zwingen vermag. Dann wird unser Wille und unser deutscher Stahl auch die Not zerbrechen und besiegen.
Tell him Angie Medalia died for the Pilgrim's dream. Tell him Angie Medalia died for liberty.
Lang lebe Deutschland.
And he looks at this mess sergeant, he says, Sergeant, me and my cadre will be back here in 1 hour. If this place ain't clean by then, you and me is stepping outside that back door. I thought that old boy was gonna faint.
Oh, Harmon Cobb, that is disgusting. Ought to make you drink it. Use an ashtray or eat at the Bluebell.
Hi, boys, what can I do?
There they are. Will you look at them?
Well, they ain't gonna get finished here.
Zig Heil, boys!
Give my love, Dave. Hi, Doc.
Cut out the kid stuff.
I'll tell you one thing. Them heinies is good workers. Wasn't for them, all you middle-aged fools would be harvesting wheat.
I don't care. Maybe kid stuff to you, Doc. We're fighting them over there, and I don't like them.
Doc, how many on the last train load? About 100, I heard.
What I hear at the camp stays at the camp.
Oh, that can't be no military secret, for Pete's sake.
Loose lips sink ships. Let me have a cheese sandwich and a glass of iced tea.
Say please.
Not to you.
Oh, Doc, you're quite the lady killer.
Hey, Doc.
Right,
If you ever get the urge to give one of them Nazi SOBs a shot of strychnine?
Now, why would I do that?
Well, I'd nail him, boy. By God, I'd inoculate him right in the old eyeball.
Damn right.
You think I care what you do? Listen, let me tell you, smart fella, something. Most of those Germans I could murder. Not lose a minute's sleep. But some of them... Well, forget I ever opened my mouth. Nobody else would understand.
Understand what?
Ah, never mind. We going fishing or not?
Doggone, George, if you're gonna be like that for the rest of the day.
Like what? You bring the beer, I'll bring the worms. See you after supper. Forget the sandwich. It took too long.
Boy, he sure took the sunshine out of the day.
Thanks for the conversation, boys. Sure appreciated it. Got to get to the office, meet a client.
Which client's that, Harm? Jim Beam or Jack Daniels?
Older fella, lets me call him Granddad. Yeah. I'll tell you why I'm calling, Mrs. Barnes. I'm wondering if you'd mind if I only paid $25 on my grocery bill this month. Would that be all right? Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I sure appreciate that, Mrs. Barnes. Yes, sir. Yes. Oh, I think we can litigate that. Why don't you come on downtown tomorrow? I'll buy you some lunch. Right. Good. Thank you, sir. Hi, John.
Gonna offer a man a drink, counselor?
You know where it is.
Some of the ladies ought to talk to Miss Barnes about shaving that mustache of hers. Well, hell, you've known her for 30 years. And there you were on the phone just now, calling her sir.
Where have you been?
Had some work to catch up on.
Oh, Dad, for Pete's sake. Your supper's in the oven if it's still edible.
Sorry.
Hi, Grandpa.
Hi, Cookie.
We got a letter from Daddy.
Good. Maybe Mom will let me out of the doghouse long enough to read it.
I worry about you sometimes, that's all. Want to hear it?
You bet.
Dear Dad, dearest Billy and Nancy. Well, Pa, by the time you get this, another 4th of July will have passed without me hearing you deliver your Angie Medallia speech. I really miss being there. Things are pretty hectic right now. I can't tell you where we are. Somewhere in... They censored that.
They're in France. Everybody knows that.
Everything is so old here, Nancy. I've seen real castles where knights and ladies of old lived. And everyone talks French.
That's stupid. You censor France and leave in that everybody talks French?
You're right. Of course, we're not exactly tourists, and I sure would like to come back after this is over and enjoy the castles up close. The big news around here is that I've been transferred to Regimental S1. They've got me posting replacements. Hey, Pop, you know the Army alphabetizes everything? Well, that's how the replacement battalions send us men. This week was nothing but LMNOPs. What we're told to do is send all the L's to one company, all the M's to another. Can you imagine an infantry platoon with 40 guys named Martin in it? Here I am with a master's degree, and I only have to know 5 letters in a row. Sometimes we hear the artillery in the distance and know we're part of something besides the mountain of paperwork. It makes me think about all these Martins and Moskowitzes and Milligans and what's going to happen to them. I hope it's over soon so I can come back home. God, Billy, how I long to... Sorry, this part's for me.
Mushy love stuff. I want to hear it.
Not on your life. Come on, sweet pea. It's bedtime.
Oh, not yet, Mom.
Come on, Nancy. I don't want to hear it. Let's go.
Oh, all right. Can I listen to the Whistler, please?
All right, but then it's bedtime.
See the letter, Billy, please.
Don't read the last paragraph.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I was cross.
I had it coming.
I am a whistler, and I know many, for I walk by night. I know many strange tales hidden in the hearts of men and women who have stepped into the shadows. Yes, I know the nameless terrors of which they dare not speak. No!
She was more beautiful in death than in life. Her childlike smile embraced the grim reaper like a mother. I could see the ravage it had done to her face.
Doc.
Never see her.
Doc, what's the matter? What happened?
There you are.
Here, let me give you a hand.
No,
Shall I call Edna May?
no. I'll get up in a minute and be on my way. I'm not an experienced hero like you know.
I need fortification.
What you need is a quart of black coffee. Come on. Come on to the house.
No. Let me ask you a question.
What?
Come on down here. I'm tired of looking up.
All right, if I answer your question, will you let me pour some black coffee into you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You love your son, don't you?
Of course I do.
And then just hope he never ends up in hell. All those dead boys.
What?
Dead soldiers. The ones I know. And the ones I'll never know.
What are you talking about, Doc?
All those poor boys. None of them ever going home. The terrible sadness.
What boys, Doc?
None of your sons. What do you care?
Come on, Doc. Let's get up.
Yeah. Good night. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow. And I shall say good night till it be morrow. I didn't make that up, you know. William Shakespeare. Mr. Shakespeare to you. I call him Sparky.
Careful, Doc. Doc, be careful.
Hey, Pop, look at this. It says we've broken out of Normandy. You think this means the war could be over soon?
I hope so.
Hey, Billy, you got a cup of coffee to go for a man on a run?
I think we can manage.
Morning, John.
Damn this thing. Still can't get over it. I was with Edna Mae Hansen all morning. Kind of a crowd over there. Looks like you haven't heard.
Heard what?
Doc Hansen. He's dead.
How? What happened?
Captain out the POW camp called me about 6 this morning. They found Doc in the dispensary.
Heart attack?
No. Beat to death.
Oh, no. Who?
I'm sorry, Billy. Doc Hansen.
Do you know who did it?
Some kraut striking a blow for Hitler. They got him in custody. That's all I know. Except that I'd like to be there when I hang him. Thanks for the coffee. I'll bring back the cup.
They tossed Charlie Canfield out of his chambers and moved in a U.S. District Court judge. They're going to try that German in federal court.
Federal court?
Well, they ought to let me try him with a down 2x4. That's what they ought to do, you know?
Lord, they got marshals over there, United States attorneys.
Oh, yeah, Willie Jackson was out there all day yesterday installing new phone lines.
You know, what I'd like to know is who in the world are they going to get to defend this crowd?
Charlie says Clarence Darrow.
Clarence Darrow? Was he kidding?
Either that, or he hasn't heard that old Clarence has been dead for 6 years.
Mr. Cobb? Sorry to bother you, sir. I'm U.S. Marshal. Could you come with me, please?
Are you kidding?
Come in. Mr. Cobb? I'm Stoddard Bell. That's B-E-L-L. Bell, how do you do?
Yes, sir.
That's just fine, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure from all the gossip, you already know there's going to be a U.S. District Court held here. What we're going to do is try a German prisoner of war for the murder of Dr. George Hansen. This is Mr. Domchek.
Mr. Cobb?
He works for the Attorney General in Washington, D.C. He'll prosecute.
Judge, I need to go set up my office. Is that all right?
Yeah, go right ahead, Mr. Domchek.
Thank you. Good luck.
Good man. Reminds me of myself when I was young. Give Mr. Cobb your chair, son.
Yes, sir.
Sit down. Sit down. Now, the defendant, he's going to need a lawyer. I can appoint any member of the U.S. District Court bar I want to. After consulting with some people around here who know who's who, I've decided to appoint you. We have a touchy situation here, Mr. Cobb. There's 3 American airmen, POWs, who are in the custody of Nazi civil authorities. They're about to be tried before a criminal court in Darmstadt, Germany. The president wants to make sure they get a fair public trial. You follow me?
No, sir.
This trial is a way to assure that that happens. That's why we're trying it before a civilian court. Quid pro quo. If we give this German a fair trial, maybe they won't railroad our boys, you see? The president wants justice done, not only here in Lincoln Bluff, Colorado, but in Darmstadt, Germany, too. At 10 o'clock this morning, some federal marshals went out to Camp Bremen and took custody of the defendant. What the hell's his name?
Geiger, Your Honor. Hauptfeldwebel, something. Wilhelm Geiger.
What does all that German mean?
Means a sergeant, Your Honor.
Well, then say so.
Yes, sir.
I'm arraigning your client at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Not my client, Your Honor. I'm very sorry, sir, but I don't want the job. Thank you.
Hold on. Gents, if you'll excuse us, Mr. Cobb and I are going to take a little stroll. Now, what seems to be the problem, Mr. Cobb?
Well, Your Honor, for one thing, you see, I live in this town. If the hangman's job was open, I'd be the first in line. The other thing is that I joined the U.S. District Court bar because their certificate looked pretty on my wall. I don't know the first thing about federal rules. I've never even been in a federal courtroom, Your Honor.
I'll go easy on you. You'll enjoy the experience.
Judge, my only son is over there fighting these people. Now, how in the hell can I defend a German for killing an American? I can't do it.
What does the cardboard sign say on my chambers?
U.S. District Court
Judge.
Yeah, but, Your Honor,
A law professor once told me that one of the most important things a courtroom lawyer can do is gauge a judge. So to help you out, I'm going to tell you everything you want to know about me. I'm a very thorough fellow. For instance, unless you were cheating on your income tax, you earned $4,331 last year. Pretty slim for a lawyer. I also know you're about that much again in debt.
Well, with all due respect, Your Honor, I don't think that's any of your business.
I knew you'd say that. Well, sir, if you take on this case, Uncle Sam will pay you a retainer of $2,500. And at $15 an hour, you can bill the government for another $1,000 for preparation and trial time. Now, tell me you can make that kind of money representing the interests of some overwrought farmers and their aspirated rabbits, and I'll drop the offer.
I'll grant you, Judge, that I'm the poorest lawyer in the state, and I intend to stay that way. Thank you very much, but no thank you.
Mr. Cobb, what's important here is the process. As far as I can see, this is an open and shut case anyway. Not asking you to save this German, just defend him. This has got to be an American trial in the American way. It's got to be thorough, it's got to be honest, out in the open, fair as fair can be. Don't you see, the very reasons you don't want this case is why you're the only man to take it. You've got a son fighting in Europe. You served with distinction in the last war. You're a patriot. I'm going to arraign your client at 3 o'clock sharp. If I were you, I'd move for a non-jury trial. I'll grant the motion. Naturally, the first thing you'll want to do is go talk to Mr. Domchek. Oh, there's one other thing. I'm compelled to force you not to discuss the situation regarding those POWs in Germany. Not with your family, not with a soul. You tell your friends in this town I forced you to take the case. Tell them I gave you a choice of resigning from the bar or going to jail for contempt. Of course, that won't be a lie, because that would have been your choice. It was going to be my last argument. Well, I'll see you at 3 o'clock.
Cobb. Put these files in that corner office against the wall.
You planning to settle down in our little town, sir?
Well, they've given me everything except a home-baked pie. Hey, Mr. Cobb, can you come over here for a minute? I just want to show you what I've got. Now, the county coroner, he's going to testify that the victim was beaten to death with a baseball bat. Sentry, victim arrives drunk. Sergeant of the guard, he finds the body. Commanding officer, he finds your client's iron cross in the victim's hand. He makes the arrest, and then he finds the murder weapon in your client's possession. Army CID expert identifies the victim's hair and blood on the bat. And this is my favorite. German sergeant, he's going to testify that your client wanted to kill Americans for Hitler. Now, here's what you've got. Somewhere. Statement from your client saying that he was asleep at the time of the murder, doesn't know anything about it. And I'll tell you, he's a real doozy, Mr. Cobb. This guy, he could have posed for Uncle Adolf Wants You poster. I think this is a change of pace for you, isn't it?
I'll manage.
Well, anyhow, in these cartons, there's some studies, classified studies of POW camps, and I can have them sent over to your office if you want. You have an office, right?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. So, where'd you go to law school?
Oh, I didn't.
Excuse me?
I read for the law.
What, like Abe Lincoln by candlelight?
Yes. I also split rails and wrestled. And I'll bet I can tell where you went to school. Harvard.
Harvard, yeah. It cost a bundle, but it taught me a lot. What it's going to teach you is free. I'll see you in court, counselor.
Goodbye, Mr. Dumbcheck.
Dumbcheck.
Right.
Here he is, sir.
I'm Harmon Cobb. I'm appointed to be your lawyer.
My name is Wilhelm Alois Geiger. I am a Hauptfeldwebel of the 15th Grenadiers, Battle Group Dornemann, 94th Division. I am a prisoner of war.
You'll be arraigned in about an hour. That means I'll plead you not guilty, you understand? It's going to be a short defense.
My name is Wilhelm Alois Geiger. I am a Hauptfeldwebel of the 15th Grenadiers, Battle Group Dornemann, 94th Division. I am a prisoner of war.
So those are big-time recorders, huh? Sound like a bunch of monkeys.
Give me $1 tip. Any of you snuffy sniffs ever do that?
Just a minute, Mr. Cobb.
Morning, Harm. Ginny, cup of coffee, please. Thanks.
Jenny, how much do I owe you?
75 cents.
Ginny, some English muffins, please.
How about some German strudel?
See you boys later.
What's going on?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, Don Bogart says he thinks you're a secret Bund member. He says your real name is probably Von Cobb. I'm just checking out.
My God. You people think that I asked for this? I was railroaded. That big-shot federal judge told me he'd have me disbarred and throw me into jail for contempt if I didn't take this job.
He said he put you in jail?
Yes, he did, and he can do it, too. God almighty. I live in this town. You people think that I'm going to go in there and defend that hiney with my last ounce of blood? All I'm going to do is make sure that snotty prosecutor doesn't make me look like a hick. Then I'm going to go watch the hanging. I may even ask to spring the trap door.
Excuse me for asking, but before you help out with the execution, you've got to put up some kind of defense, don't you? So what do you got in mind?
I don't know. Character witnesses.
Character witnesses like who?
I don't know. Joseph Goebbels, Hermann Goring, Heinrich Himmler. My star witness is going to be Adolf Hitler.
Visitor parking over there, sir.
Major Lilly, Sergeant Geiger's lawyers out here.
I'm Major Lilly, sir.
Harmon Cobb.
So, you would like to see our dispensary?
If it's not too much trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. I'll show you around, and Sergeant Osias, he can tell you where the prisoners are working at.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Just so I know how we stand here, sir. Are you defending Geiger by choice?
What difference does that make?
After you. Let me be clear on where I stand, Mr. Cobb. The fact is, Hansen shouldn't have been out here in the middle of the night. So while I'm sorry that he got killed, I really can't take responsibility for his death.
Was this Doc Hansen's office?
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay if I go in?
Go right ahead. I think you should also know that this has been a model camp for 2 years. I have a good understanding with my prisoners. But Geiger's been a troublemaker from the moment he got here. Did you know that he even has the Iron Cross for being a good Nazi? So when they hang him, I'm going to celebrate.
Good. I'll bring the beer.
Fella you're looking for is right up here. Heinz.
Yeah?
Come and see out there. Fella here wants to sprechen with you.
Hi. You speak English?
Nein.
Well, he speaks English. Heinz, come up out of there. Don't take all day about it.
I'm told you served with Sergeant Geiger, is that right?
No, sir, I do not know this man.
Your name is Private Heinz Maria Flug?
What do you want, sir?
I'm Geiger's lawyer.
Yes, Schule, kommt her. Der Anwalt von Geiger.
Was will denn der Anwalt hier? Du, weißt du, warum der Anwalt hier ist? Frag ihn mal, wie es ihm geht.
Now, here's what I wanted to know. You see, there's going to be a trial for Geiger. You understand that, a trial? I need 2 men to testify. Testify, talk about Geiger, say nice things about Geiger. Do you comprehend?
Are we being ordered to do this?
Look, I'm supposed to be on Geiger's side.
Herr Anwalt, we will talk in the trial if we are ordered to. And we go back to work, sir.
Who did that?
Could have been lots of people. Dad, it's all right.
No, it's not all right.
You're not gonna like that either.
Hello. Who is this? Where's Nancy?
Upstairs, nursing a cut lip. She had a fight with Violet Sleed.
Nancy! You tell Violet Sleed to go to hell!
Rise and shine, Adolf. Out here.
What do you want?
Look, Sergeant, I've got to go into that courtroom and put up some kind of a defense for you. Do you understand?
I can make your job very easy. I can confess to killing this doctor. Also, that I personally sank the Lusitania and have stolen the Lindbergh's baby.
Now, your sarcasm isn't going to help any. Now, in the absence of a real defense, all I can do is put character witnesses on the stand. Who I have to choose from is your men. But when I spoke to them, they wouldn't admit that they knew you.
Where have you seen my men?
Out on some farm. They said they wouldn't testify unless they were ordered to do so. So I want you to order your men to testify in your behalf.
They would not talk to you. They're good.
Sergeant, let's get one thing straight. I don't want to defend you. I would like to be the fella that hangs you. But I'm stuck with this job, and I have to go in there and put up some kind of a defense to keep from looking like a fool. So I want you to order your men to testify.
No, I do not want them harmed.
Oh, my God. Nothing is going to happen to them, for crying out loud. This is the United States of America.
Not in Camp Bremen. Do you want a defense? Then what about the truth? Shall I tell you about the murder of Ernst Schmidt? Shall I tell you about the Lago Gestapo in Camp Bremen? No. You want only vengeance. So I will not tell my men to testify. For Wilhelm Geiger, you need no defense. You need a defense only for yourself.
I think the Army pays these people by the word to write these things.
I'm going to look like a fool in there. Got no character witnesses. If I put Geiger on the stand, he'll make a travesty out of it. If I rest without a defense, a tough old judge will have me shot. Should have been a farmer.
Maybe you should keep reading.
There he is.
How do you feel about defending a Nazi?
This German can
You
get a
get
fair
paid for
trial
this?
here.
Is this the biggest case of your career?
Never defended a murderer before.
What about being a Nazi sympathizer?
Why did you take the case?
What do you think they picked you?
All I can tell you is what the judge told me. It was me or Clarence Darrow, and he's dead. Okay?
Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name.
Corporal Adam Swayze, sir.
Please be seated.
Corporal Swayze, what were your duties from midnight to 8 a.m. on July 6, 1944?
I was on guard duty at the main gate of the prison compound at Camp Bremen, sir.
Did Dr. George Hansen arrive at your post during the night?
He sure did, sir.
Oh, I object, Your Honor. Isn't this called leading the witness?
Your Honor, I resent counsel's sarcasm.
No sarcasm intended. I just wanted my learned adversary to know that we here in the sticks do know leading a witness when we run across it.
Objection sustained. Go on, Mr. Domchek.
Thank you. Did anyone approach your post the morning of the 6th?
At 2:17 a.m., sir, the doc did. Dr. Henson, I mean.
When Corporal Swayze told me that he had admitted Dr. Hansen into the prisoner's compound without informing me, I reprimanded him. I then proceeded to the dispensary.
At what time was that, Sergeant?
It was 5:32 a.m., sir. The lights were on in the office, and the filing cabinets were turned upside down. Dr. Hansen was lying on the floor. Most of his face was gone, and he didn't have any pulse.
Major, at the dispensary, what did you observe?
Sir, I observed that Dr. Hansen was holding something in his right hand. I identified the object as a German combat decoration. It was the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross. The ribbon was torn.
Is this the object that you found?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'd like to introduce this as United States Exhibit A.
Exhibit A admitted.
Major, how many soldiers at Camp Bremen are entitled to wear that decoration?
Just one. Sergeant Geiger.
Did the discovery of that piece of evidence cause you to take any action?
Yes, sir. I ordered Sergeant Kreider and 4 other MPs to accompany me to Barracks 15, where I arrested the defendant.
And did you discover anything in his possession at that time?
Yes, I did. It was in his locker. It was a baseball bat. It had traces of what appeared to be hair and blood on it.
Your Honor, I'd like to introduce Exhibit B, the baseball bat.
Exhibit B admitted.
Your witness, Mr. Cobb?
No questions. Hi, kids.
Grandpa. Better. Hi, Grandpa. Do you want me to heat up your stew for you?
Sure, Cookie. You know how to do it?
Oh, stop it, Grandpa.
How'd it go? We got a letter from Harry.
Oh, wonderful. Read it, read it. Great. What does he say?
Wait till you hear. Dearest Billy, also Nancy and Pop, a couple of your letters caught up with me today. It's terrible about old Doc Hansen. He was a great old guy. I hope the Army hangs the blankety-blank who did it.
What did they censor?
Nothing. I censored it. Okay, is everybody sitting down? I made sergeant.
Hooray!
Yeah. So I'll thank you all to treat me with more respect from now on. There'll also be a welcome addition to the old allocation check. Hooray! I'll have new duties I can't tell you about yet. Don't worry, it's another staff job. Maybe even one where I get to use my brain a little. I'll tell you, Pop, the Army still operates on the same mentality you always talked about. If it moves, salute it. If it doesn't move, move it. If you can't move it, paint it. I don't know if you had the word snafu in World War I, but it's what we live with every day. I'll tell you what the letters stand for sometime when Billy and Nancy aren't in the room.
What do they stand for, Grandpa?
Situation normal, all fouled up.
What's wrong with that?
Absolutely nothing.
Posting replacements has been getting to me anyway. I keep looking for the names of kids from Lincoln Bluff, but so far nobody I know. Thank God. I'm sorry if I seem down in the dumps. I keep telling myself how much I have to be happy and proud about, especially when I think the rest is just for me.
Uh-huh.
Mushy love stuff.
That's right. Mushy love stuff. So, how'd it go today?
Okay. I think I did okay with drum check. I managed to get his goat a few times. It's nice, huh?
Good. So, what else?
You should have been a lawyer. All these questions. No, it's Doc. He was so drunk that night, I didn't think he was making any sense. Maybe I shouldn't have let him.
What? Walked to his home 2 blocks away? How could you possibly know he would go all the way out to that camp?
Yeah.
Dad, it wasn't your fault.
The left temporal bone of the skull was crushed, multiple fragments of which were embedded in the victim's cerebral cortex. The palatine, nasal, and inferior turbinate bones were also crushed.
Speak louder, please.
The palatine, nasal, and inferior turbinate bones were also crushed, causing more fragments to penetrate the brain. In addition, the right occipital bone exhibited a lateral crack also produced by a rounded, blunt instrument. In my opinion, this trauma to the brain produced instantaneous death.
Thank you. You're a witness, Mr. Cobb.
No question.
You can step down.
The United States calls Hauptfeldwebel Hans Riefenstahl. As ranking non-commissioned officer at Camp Bremen, did you have any conversations with the defendant?
Yes, sir, when he arrived.
Did you and he discuss the question of a prisoner of war's duties?
Yes, sir.
How do you define them?
How do I define them?
Yes.
I believe it is my duty to obey lawful orders from my captors and to maintain discipline among my men. But I do not believe it is a soldier's duty to murder civilians.
I object, Your Honor.
Overruled. Continue, Mr. Domchek.
So Sergeant Geiger had a different definition.
Yes, sir. Sergeant Geiger said that his duty was that he must be the Führer's angel of death in America, to kill any American he could.
Sergeant Riefenstahl, would you define a Nazi as one who is a member of the National Socialist Party?
Yes, sir.
To the best of your knowledge, is Sergeant Geiger a member of the National Socialist Party?
He has told me he is, yes, sir.
Are you?
Am I, sir? No, sir, I'm only a soldier.
Your Honor, the United States rests.
Mr. Cobb, the defense can proceed in the morning. We're adjourned.
Lawyer, answer me a question.
What?
What is the year?
What is the year?
Yeah, you think it is 1944, don't you? But you are wrong.
Good evening, sir. Nobody seems to be at home. Are you Mr. Harmon J. Cobb?
Yes?
I'm Second Lieutenant Jack Morton of the Adjutant General's office at Fort Dawson. Could we go inside, sir?
No, I don't think so.
I'm sorry. The War Department regrets to inform you that Sergeant Harold S. Cobb was killed in action 5 of August 1944 during combat operations in the European theater of war. Sir, would it be easier if I waited inside with you and told Mrs. Cobb myself?
No, I'll do it. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, sir.
I'd replace you if I could, but I can't.
Please, Judge. I can't go on with this. I can't even think.
Mr. Cobb, I sure can't know the depth of your grief. But this trial's going to finish the way it started, with you at the defendant's table. I'm sorry, but that's the way it's got to go. Today's Wednesday. I'll grant a continuance the rest of the week. We'll reconvene on Monday. I'll be home in Denver if you need to talk to me. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. miss. I see. No, thank you very much. I appreciate your taking the time. Thank you, and the best to you too, sir.
Tell me, Dad. I want to know. Tell me.
The unit was at mail call. They took one artillery round. That's all.
Grandpa? Grandpa? Let's go fishing. Please? Mom says it'll be good for you.
Go away, Nancy. Leave me alone.
Please don't be mad at me. I'm sad too.
Got him! You got him!
Jeez Louise! It's a whopper!
That's it. Use the reel. Use the reel. Let him run. Let him run. Rod tip up. Up, up. Good, good.
Come on, fish.
That's it. You've got him.
Come on, fish.
Reel him, Squirt. Reel him. A little more. 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 There he is. All right. Bring him over here. Hold him. I'll bring him up.
Grandpa, he's beautiful. Look at all the colors. He's red and blue and silver. Can we keep him? Please. I want to show Mom.
Well, it's your fish, Squirt, but if you keep him, he'll die, and all those colors will fade away. Nobody will ever know he looked like this. Hold my rod.
Maybe he won't change.
He will.
Why?
They always do. Rainbow trout's colors is just something you gotta see, but not keep.
Then, let's let him go. We can remember what he looked like.
Everything about him. Yeah, but we quit this time. Take a rubber for myself. Rifle reel, okay?
Got it.
Wait a second. Ready? Let's go.
Look, Grandpa, it's Mr. Heathcote.
Keep moving, Squirt.
Don't you like the rain, Grandpa?
Of course, I love it. Now, come on.
Grandpa, did you ever catch a fish that big?
Never. Clarence, what's going on?
Oh, I was just driving around
And you happen to wind up on my porch.
I caught a fish this big, Mr. Heathcote.
How big?
This big.
You do that just like your grandpa.
Still the biggest fish ever caught in that river.
Mom, we're home. Wait till I tell you what happened. What?
What's on your mind, Clarence?
Oh, I was just wondering how he was holding up, is all.
pretty good in some ways, other ways not so hot. Would you like to come in for a cup of coffee, a sandwich, or something?
No. Harmon, I was wondering, what's going to happen when that trial reconvenes?
I guess I'm going to go back to the courtroom, take my seat.
I don't suppose there's ever been any question about that German fella being guilty as sin. Of course, you got to do your very best for him, no matter what, that being what you might call the American way, you know. Feller's innocent until he's proven guilty, no matter what he does.
You giving me a civics lecture, Clarence?
No. Heck no. I was just wondering what you'd do if you'd had any kind of case, that's all.
Well, so far I haven't had that problem, but if I did, I suppose I'd put up a defense. In which case, I probably would have to move to another town. Is that about it, Clarence?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll see you later, hon.
Sure you don't want to come in for a cup of coffee till it blows over?
No, I got some errands I got to run.
What time is it?
3 a.m.
Does John Wallace know it's 3 a.m.?
He says it's important.
Crying out loud.
It's all right, honey. Mommy's coming.
What's the matter? Truck stop closed? I just thought it was time I brought back your cup. What's going on, John?
Well, about an hour ago, Clarence Heathcote woke me up, so I thought I'd pass on the favor. He brought me something real interesting. He found that in his tackle box when he was cleaning out his boat this morning. He says Doc scribbled that down when they were out fishing, the day Doc was killed.
Let me get my glasses.
Clarence said Doc got drunk and went rambling on about dead boys. That's what he was babbling to you about that night, wasn't it? Doc was a friend of mine, but he must have been up to his neck in something out at that camp. I hate to say it, but there's more to this now than just some crazy Nazi wanting to kill an American for Hitler.
Holy Chicago. So this is what Clarence got stuck in his craw this afternoon.
He asked me if I thought that would hurt Doc's reputation. I said, hell yes. But he said, give it to Harmon anyway. Sure was eating on him. Oh, by the way, I asked Clarence not to tell anybody else about this. He said he wouldn't. You okay, Harmon?
Okay.
Good.
Thank you very much, John.
See you later. Night, Billy.
Good night. Everything all right?
Billy, come over here and listen to this. This was written by Doc Hansen the day he died. He got drunk and he wrote this. Sir, Camp Bremen is hell on earth, a place of death. If what I am about to reveal results in the criminal prosecutions of myself and others, so be it. I have harbored this burden with great difficulty, and with the murder of Corporal Ernst Schmidt, I can carry it no longer. That's it. That's all there is. Corporal Ernst Schmidt. I remember talking to Geiger. I told him something about this being the United States of America, and he said something about the murder of Ernst Schmidt. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I wasn't even listening to him.
Oh, my God.
What am I going to do?
You haven't been back to bed yet, have you?
No point trying to sleep now. I'm too nervous. My 5-day continuance is 4/5 gone. I've got a little better than 24 hours to prepare a case, and I don't even know what it's about yet. I was going to wait till a decent hour, but the hell with it. Time to stir up the hornets.
morning. Major, it's Harmon Cobb. I'm not calling too early, am I?
At 6 a.m. on Sunday?
You see, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place here, trying not to look like a fool in court. I've run across a name, and I was hoping you might be able to shed some light on who this fellow might be.
What's the name?
Corporal Ernst Schmidt. Corporal Ernst Schmidt. Major, hello? You still there?
Can I ask in what context you ran across that name?
Oh, I believe Doc Hansen mentioned it to me once.
You did?
A sick prisoner, was he? Hello, Major? Goodness me, I haven't stumbled on some military secret, have I?
Private Schmidt was a new prisoner. He died of natural causes less than a week after he got here.
Natural causes. Oh. Did Dr. Hansen treat him?
I suppose he must have.
Well, then I guess there'd be some medical files on him. You don't suppose I could take a look at those, do you?
Sorry. If this is in connection with the trial, you'll have to get a subpoena.
A subpoena? Oh, no, it's not that important. I'm sorry I bothered you. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Isn't it me? Hello, Ed and May. How you feeling?
Harmon.
I was just over your house. Your daughter says that you might be here. I'm sorry to disturb you, Ed and May, but I was wondering if George ever talked to you about a prisoner of war named Ernst Schmidt.
Ernst Schmidt? Oh, I don't think so. Why?
Well, something was wrong out there at the camp. Something was bothering George a whole lot.
What? What was wrong?
I don't know. That's my problem. You see, and it's complicated things.
What are you talking about?
Well, it could be that my client is innocent.
Your client? You talk like you want to help him go free.
Well, I only said that it could be. See, George was real disturbed about something that night outside my house.
Disturbed? He was scared to death.
Why?
Ask your client why. I guess people who write about you, you really aren't much of a lawyer. Your German threatened George.
What?
And he pushed him down.
When?
The day he was murdered.
My God, did he report this to anybody?
Of course he did.
Did he report it to Major Lilly?
Of course he did. You don't really think that German is innocent. You haven't even buried your own son yet. Didn't the Germans kill him too? I don't think you have the right to call yourself an American anymore.
The other day you tried to tell me about Ernst Schmidt. I wasn't interested. Now I am. Who was he? Was he murdered?
Yes. You still interested?
Come on out here. Why did you attack Doc Hansen the day he was murdered?
I was wondering when that would be used against me.
The prosecution rested without bringing it up, so for the moment it's just between you and me.
So you are my advocate?
Well, I suppose that's what a lawyer is. Did you kill Doc Hansen?
No.
Well, what about Ernst Schmidt? Did his murder have anything to do with Dr. Hansen?
Do you know what is the Lager Gestapo?
No.
Do you know what is the Heilige Geist, the Holy Ghost?
No.
If you are going to hate Nazis, you should learn that is who has killed Ernst Schmidt. They have visited him in the night and taken his life. Before, in court, I asked you what year it was. Now I will tell you. In Berlin, it is 1944, but in Camp Bremen, 1941. Did you know that North Africa has been recaptured by Rommel? Stalingrad has become Hitlergrad, and many of the great American cities have been destroyed.
That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. My men and I are the first prisoners to be brought here in over a year. We have seen what Germany has come to. These old prisoners, these Afrika Panzer soldiers, for them the war is a dream. They believe these things and they like being Nazis still. We have thought for us when we are captured the war is over, but where are we? Back in Nazi Germany.
How can that be?
Because Nazis can run a camp very, very well. Major Lilly needs the Lager Gestapo. Why? He cannot provide fear, and they do. The Lager Gestapo needs Major Lilly. He gives them power. It is a circle. And do you know who is the head of our Lager Gestapo? Sergeant Riefenstahl. This man who says, I am a Nazi, and he is not. He and his men are the Holy Ghost who visit you in the night if you speak against Hitler. Ernst Schmidt has made a joke, only a joke, about fat Hermann Göring. When we go to bed at night, he is there. In the morning, he is gone. I demand to see Major Lilly. I ask him, where is Ernst Schmidt? He tells me, Schmidt has died in the hospital of natural causes. The doctor has written this in the records. I go to see this doctor. I ask him, why does he write this lie? I'm very angry. I put my hands on him, and I can hurt him, but no. I stop. The doctor is calling Major Lilly on the telephone to punish me. It would be easy for me to kill this old man, but I went away. And I wake up in the morning when Major Lilly is telling me I am a murderer.
Did you see Ernst Schmidt have this rendezvous with the Holy Ghost?
No.
Did you see the body?
No.
Well, Schmidt was in camp less than a week. How the hell do you know he didn't die of natural causes?
I have 15 years in German army. I know.
Did Doc Hansen talk to Major Lilly in your presence?
Yes. I'm not ashamed to be a soldier. I have killed men, yes, Americans. But they were soldiers, and it was my duty. These things I have done. But I did not murder Dr. Hansen.
Major? Major Lilly?
I'm busy, Mr. Cobb.
So am I, Major. I'll make it fast. I would like your permission, sir, to see the report on the assault that took place the afternoon of July 6th.
What are you talking about?
Well, I understand that Sergeant Geiger threatened Dr. Hansen and then shoved him down.
Now, how can you give any credence to what that Nazi says? That's disgusting.
Well, that may be right, sir, but do you know anything about a letter that Dr. Hansen wrote right before he died concerning the camp?
No, I don't. And I don't have any more time for this nonsense.
All right, John, what do we have?
Well, let's see. You got this Kraut prisoner who's dead. Doc's letter hints at foul play. Geiger says there was foul play, but he can't prove it. You got this little shoving match between Geiger and Doc. Edna May says it happened. Geiger admits it. And they both say that Doc told Major Lilly about it. So how come Lilly didn't arrest Geiger? That's very interesting.
What's real interesting is that Domchek didn't bring it out. He must not know about it.
Will you two pipe down in there? I'm trying to concentrate.
Oh, sorry. You can get up, honey. My legs have gone to sleep.
Is that Nancy in there?
Well, I sure wasn't talking to Harmon.
Nancy, what time is it?
I know. You know what I did right after supper?
What?
I called Violet Sleet and told her to go to hell. Don't tell Mom.
Okay, Squirt.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night, honey. Thanks for the help.
Good night, Mom.
Good night, darling. Dad, John, come in here. Come here, look at this. There's a report here on causes of death in German POW camps over the last year. Now look, the numbers are random all through here, like this camp in Texas. 2 deaths from work accidents, 1 from battle wounds, 2 from homicide. But they're all like this, see? Except Camp Bremen. 8 deaths from natural causes and nothing else.
Wow. Holy Chicago. Billy, you're a gem.
And there's one other thing. Look at this. All these other camps have lots of escapes, or at least attempted escapes. At Camp Bremen, there isn't a single one.
Hell, it's such a nice place, nobody wants to leave.
I would love to get a look at those medical records on the deaths by natural causes.
Judge Bell pulled back into town tonight. Get yourself a subpoena and hop on out there. Heck, I'll drive you, even if you are the town pariah.
Good evening, sir. May I help you?
Oh, it's okay.
Mr. Cobb, you're just in time for coffee.
No, thanks, Your Honor.
I was going to call you in the morning, see how you're holding up.
I'm surviving, sir.
Good, good. Please sit down. We'll both be more comfortable.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry to disturb you in the middle of a meal. I know it's very rude. I need a subpoena, sir.
What for?
Well, I need some medical records from Camp Bremen.
What way would medical records be germane to your case?
I've come across some new evidence.
New evidence of what?
New evidence that may cast some doubt on my client's guilt.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. See, I have part of a letter here that Doc Hansen wrote the day before he died.
Leave it in your pocket.
Sorry?
Ask yourself a question. Would I have picked you for the defense if I'd wanted there to be the slightest doubt of the outcome of this trial?
I don't know what you mean, sir.
It's a charade, Mr. Cobb. Every actor in it has a part that's already written. You ain't the hero. That's Mr. Domchek's part. Who you are is the court jester. Now, here's how it comes out. Right after you make your closing argument tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to find Hauptfeldwebel Wilhelm Geiger guilty of murder. Then I'm going to sentence him to hang.
Of course, Domchek does dress better than you. He looks more like a hero. What you need is one of them caps with pointy things. It's got bells hanging on
I'm
them.
gonna take this to the Supreme Court, by God.
Dad, it's your word against his.
See, it has about little shoes that curl up at the ends.
I will cut it out.
Well, now think about it, Harmon. What's the jester's job? To make the court laugh, even if that means making fun of the king.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Jester's supposed to stir things up. If I was you, I'd put on my bells and start making some noise.
What are you talking about?
I mean, out at the camp, where they got all Doc's records.
You wouldn't.
I've got another pair of those pointy shoes, just your size.
My size?
Billy, find me a flashlight.
Pop!
A sweater!
Let's not be hasty here.
Pop, you're not going to do this.
I'll meet you down at the car.
Oh, well. I was planning on getting in a new line of work anyway. Official business, son.
We have to speak to Corporal Swayze immediately.
Right over there, sir.
Evening, Corporal Swayze.
Mr. Cobb? It's over 300 hours, sir. This compound is off limits after taps.
Yeah, but not to us. You see, I'm an officer of the United States District Court. This fella here is an officer of the law.
U.S. Marshal, son. We need to see the scene of the crime.
Think I better call Major Lilly. I'm gonna need some authorization for this.
Hold on, Corporal. You ever seen a court order before?
I don't know. I still have to call the major, sir.
Son, it's the major that's being investigated here.
Don't you understand, Corporal? The United States government is investigating Major Lilly. We are representatives of the government.
It's what this court order is all about.
Okay. It's all right.
this.
You think I'm not? Keep moving. Gotta go to the bathroom.
Should have thought of that before we left the house. Natural causes. Natural causes.
Like Billy said.
Right here, the latest one is Ernst Schmidt. The earliest is March of 1943. That's a year ago. All signed by Doc Hanson.
This give you any ideas?
What?
Shoat?
Funeral director.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Get this stuff put away.
Hurry up.
Was ist hier los? Halt! Wer bist du? Ach, du bist doch der Anwalt vom Geiger. Was machst du hier? Niedermachen.
Kennedy back, Fritz! I'll blow a hole in your head! Get out of here! Schnell! Raus!
Verziehen uns. Verflucht, die zwei wissen Bescheid. Wir müssen das sprechen.
The hell was that?
I don't know. Let's just get the hell out of here. Hey, Corporal, who the hell are those krauts with baseball bats we just ran into?
It's just the German security patrol, Marshal. Fun, ain't they?
You mean they're there and you're out here?
Yes, sir. After taps, that's how it works.
Wow. Will you testify to that in court?
Let me tell you about guys opening their mouths about this place, sir. Look, this is real easy duty here. It's just hear no evil, see no evil. This one MP, he decides he's gonna write to Inspector General. Guess what happened to him? He found stolen property in his locker. He went to the stockade. Do you have any idea what happens to an MP inside a stockade, sir?
Okay, fair enough. But listen, Corporal, you are already a witness in this trial. I could recall you if I wanted to. Put you on the stand as a hostile witness, and you'd have to tell the truth. Of course, if you were scared, and I guess I don't blame you for that, you could say you hadn't seen anything, and then that would kill the case. But you know what? If I can do what I want to do, I can bust this camp wide open, and you never have to worry about ever being in any stockade.
Can I think about this, sir?
There isn't much time. When I call you, tell everything you know, including your fight with Dr. Hanson.
Is it not bad for me to tell that?
Well, it can't get any worse than it is, can it?
No. I'm sorry about your son dying.
Thank you. You have a family at home?
Yeah. My father. My mother were killed in Heilbronn in the bombing.
Oh, sorry. I'll call you to the stand. You'll be second.
We're in session. Mr. Cobb, you're up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Be seated.
The defense calls Mr. Clarence Heathcote.
Raise your right hand. You promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name.
Clarence Heathcote.
Thank you.
Clarence, I'm going to hand you a piece of paper. I want you to describe it for the court.
It's a sheet of paper from George Hansen's prescription pad, and it's got some handwriting on it.
Mr. Cobb, approach the bench. I want to see you in my chambers.
Your Honor, I object to any ex parte conference.
Then you better come too. We're in recess.
All right.
Just where do you think you're heading with this crap?
Judge, you may think I'm incompetent and that this trial is settled. But whether you like it or not, there's been a conspiracy to conceal at least one murder of a prisoner at Camp Bremen, and I can prove it.
What are you talking about? Are you crazy?
No, I am not crazy.
Both
I have
of you, shut
evidence
up.
which...
All right, I'm going to tell you why this trial's going to end the way I say it's going to end. You remember those American airmen I told you about getting tried in Darmstadt, Germany?
Yes, sir.
They're going to be sentenced to hang. There's no doubt about that. Well, the president doesn't want them hung, so we need one of theirs to hang.
What if theirs isn't guilty of the crime he's accused of? Doesn't that matter?
You think ours are guilty of crimes against the Reich? The idea is for nobody to hang. The president wants to trade our flyers for a bona fide Nazi hero. Now do you understand? That's why I'm giving Geiger the death sentence today, and nobody's going to stop me.
What if there's no trade, Judge?
And I guess it'll be an eye for an eye, won't it?
Why didn't I know about this?
Because you didn't need to.
If you've got new evidence, I want to see it.
I'll stipulate that you're an honorable fellow. Now, let's finish this damn trial.
What do you have, Cobb?
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, Judge. Judge, I came here to prosecute a murderer. I'm not going to help anybody hang an innocent man. I don't care what the reason is.
I can make you care.
Yeah, you probably could. Go ahead and put the letter into evidence.
Dumb check.
With all due respect, Your Honor, you try to suppress it. I'll move to put it into evidence. You deny my motion, I'll move for mistrial.
All right. Suppose I admit the letter. Where are you going with it?
I'm going to destroy Major Lilly, Your Honor. He's the one that's acting like a Nazi here. And if I can do that, I'm going to ask you to exhume some bodies.
Is that right? Well, you better have it tied up in a very neat bundle, or I'll destroy you.
It's all there. Or it will be, I hope.
Then let's get on with it. Let me tell you something. You two smart fellas may think one German life is worth 3 American lives. I don't. If our boys die, it ain't me who killed them.
Camp Bremen is hell on earth, a place of death. If what I'm about to reveal results in the criminal prosecutions of myself and others, so be it. I've harbored this burden with great difficulty. With the murder of Corporal Ernst Schmidt, I can carry it no longer.
Thank you, Clarence. Mr. Domchak?
No questions.
You may step down, thank you. Any further witnesses, Mr. Cobb?
The defense calls Sergeant Wilhelm Geiger. So, after Schmidt's death, you went to Dr. Hansen?
Yes. I told him I believe he is lying. I am sure Schmidt was beaten to death.
Then what did Dr. Hansen say?
He told me to get out.
What did you do?
I pushed him to the floor.
Any more of this, I'll clear the courtroom.
What happened then?
Dr. Hansen took the telephone. He said, "This is the doctor. I want to speak to Major Lilly immediately." I said, "You are a liar, doctor." He said, "Major, there is a German in my office who has hit me. I want him arrested." So I go away.
Were you arrested?
No, sir.
Sergeant, what is the Lager Gestapo?
It is they who patrol the camp at night. In Germany, we have the Gestapo. They are the Führer's secret police. They can kill you if they wish. In Camp Bremen, they call themselves the Lager Gestapo.
Sergeant Geiger, did you kill Dr. George Hansen?
No, sir.
Major, on the day before Dr. Hansen's death, the 5th of July, did you receive a telephone call from Dr. Hansen?
No, sir, I did not.
Really? He didn't call you to tell you there was a German in his office who had just knocked him down?
Absolutely not.
Tell me, sir, what kind of security do you have out there at night?
Well, the compound is guarded by military police.
Outside or inside?
Well, there isn't any need for them inside the compound. The prisoners are locked into their barracks.
So they're not free to wander around with baseball bats?
Of course not.
Tell me, sir, what is the procedure of disposing of a body of a prisoner who's just died?
The death certificate is filled out by the attending physician. It's endorsed by me. Then the body is transferred to a civilian contract mortician.
In the recent case of the death of Corporal Ernst Schmidt, who was the attending physician?
Dr. Hansen.
What did the corporal die of?
As I recall, it was natural causes.
Natural causes? What does that mean exactly? He died in his sleep from old age?
The doctor determined the cause of death, sir, not me.
Natural. Now, when a body is given over to a contract mortician, does somebody sign it over?
Yes, I do.
Do you look at the body then to make sure it's the right one?
Of course.
So you actually saw Corporal Schmidt's body when he was given over to the mortician?
Yes.
What did it look like, Major?
Well, actually, it was covered up.
You just said you looked at the bodies when they were given over to the mortician.
I only looked at his face.
Well, what did his face look like? Was it normal? Was he beat all to hell? Was he smiling? Did he wink at you?
Knock that off, Mr. Cobb.
Sorry, Your Honor. Tell us, Major, what did the corporal's face look like?
Normal.
Thank you, sir. No more questions.
Mr. Domchek?
No questions.
You can step down, Major. We'll take a 10-minute recess.
Hello, I'm trying to reach Corporal Swayze. He is. Well, can I leave a message for him? Tell him... No, this is very important. Oh, never mind. Thank you very much. What are your duties, Corporal?
I'm a military policeman, sir. My job is to guard the prison compound at Camp Bremen.
You have towers out there like a prison?
Yes, sir. We also use the guard shack at the main entrance, and we have one-man patrols around the perimeter fence.
How about inside the compound?
Two-man patrols from Reveille to Taps.
You don't patrol inside at night?
No, sir. After Taps, the Germans take care of that for themselves.
They're not locked up?
No, sir.
These German patrols, Corporal, are they armed?
Well, sir, about a year ago, the Army supplied the camp with a whole bunch of baseball equipment. Germans don't play baseball, sir. But they sure did find a use for them bats.
Corporal, have you served in any other prisoner of war camp?
Camp Dean, North Carolina, sir.
Is that the way they ran things there?
Not on your life, sir.
Sergeant Osias, when your commanding officer gets a phone call, who answers the phone?
I do.
Now, on July the 5th, did you get a phone call from Dr. George Hansen asking to speak to Major Lilly?
Yes, sir, I did.
What makes you remember that?
Well, I keep a log of all incoming calls. Also, the doc seemed real agitated.
Did you put him through to the Major?
Yes, sir, I did.
No more questions. Thank you. Mr. Domchek?
No questions.
You can step down.
The defense calls James E. Schote. Mr. Schote, what do you do for a living?
I'm a mortician. I own Schote & Son Funeral Home.
When some prisoner dies out at Camp Bremen, do you have a contract with the United States Army to prepare the body for burial? Do I have that right?
Yes, sir.
Did you recently handle the body of Corporal Ernst Schmidt?
I believe that's a military secret.
Military secret? Is that what you said, Mr. Schote? Who told you that?
Major Lilly did.
Well, it isn't one. Answer the question.
Yes, sir.
So you did handle the body of Corporal Ernst Schmidt?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, Mr. Schote, what did the body look like?
Well, sir, it had both arms broken, massive bruises in the kidney area, and extensive fractures of the facial bones.
Question. Tell me, Mr. Schote, what did the body look like? Answer. Well, sir, it had both arms broken, massive bruises in the kidney area, and extensive fractures of the facial bones. Question. Thank you, sir.
Major Lilly, now that you've heard the testimony of Sergeant Geiger, Corporal Swayze, Sergeant Osias, and Mr. Schote, I'm going to ask you again. Did you get a telephone call from Dr. George Hansen on the 5th of July?
I ran the tightest POW camp in the Army. I deserve a medal for the job I did. Why should you give a damn about Germans killing each other?
Major, I ought to inform you about now that under the provisions of the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution, you don't have to testify to anything that might incriminate you.
Then I won't answer any more questions.
Bailiff, I want this witness held pending arraignment for perjury.
Your Honor, I move that the body of Ernst Schmidt be exhumed.
Motion granted. Court is adjourned.
All rise!
Open it. Sergeant, is that Ernst Schmidt?
Yes, sir. Tell the story.
Close it up. How many more of these are there?
7.
Well, then we'll open them all up. Move for acquittal and I'll frame it. I guess this turned out all right. After I've convened the grand jury, I'll probably end up with a whole mess of condemned Germans for the president to trade. Of course, you gents understand, I'll be taking the credit for this whole thing. Mr. Cobb, I knew all along that you had what it takes, and I'm going to tell that to the Attorney General.
That's the Lager Gestapo, Mr. Cobb. A whole bunch of them. They've been talking fast and furious the past few days. I think we finally figured out exactly what happened. See, Riefenstahl, one of his patrols, found the doctor in his office drunk. He was writing a full confession about how he falsified the documents to the 8 Germans. So he murdered him, personally. Nazis hated Geiger, by the way, because he wasn't intimidated by him. So they framed him.
I want to say goodbye and good luck.
So, You have saved my life.
Yeah, well, I didn't do it for you. I did it for a lot of other reasons.
That I know. But still, I thank you.
You know, after this war is over, you won't have much to go back to. I hope you can make the best of it.
We all will have losses to live with.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And though Harry lies in France, this stone marks his passing for all those who knew him and loved him. Both as the great kid he always was and the fine teacher he became. We'll sure remember he was here.
Detail, forward, Holmes. Detail, ready? Aim, fire! Hold! Freeze in, hold!
Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, fear no evil.
Walter Matthau returns in the sequel to The Incident. Incident in a Small Town is tomorrow afternoon at 1:50.